When was the last time you were genuinely excited about a new smartphone and actually excited and not mildly interested? Now, while you answer this, let me tell you, for most people, the answer is not last year, it is years ago. There was a time when buying a new smartphone actually felt special. I remember watching launch events, watching unboxing videos right after the launch, discussing stuff with my colleagues and peers, because back then, smartphone launches felt like events. Today, well, most people upgrade because their old phone is slow or the battery does not last or the screen cracked, not because the new launches are exciting. So, what really happened? Did smartphones become boring?
No.
Or did something else change? Hello everyone, this is Aman for Digit and you are watching our brand new series, Digit Explained. Let's get started. Now let's rewind a bit. In the early days of smartphones, progress was obvious. The early 2010s saw touchscreens become mainstream. App stores were exploding, cameras improved every year, phones started coming with fingerprint scanners, big displays replaced tiny ones. Remember, we went from devices like the iPhone 4 and the Galaxy S2 to phones like the Galaxy Note, which suddenly made big screens normal. Even small upgrades felt massive because everything was moving fast. Going from a keypad Nokia or a BlackBerry to something like the iPhone 3GS or the Samsung Galaxy S felt like stepping into the future. Even jumping from a basic VGA camera to something decent felt revolutionary. But today, moving from a good phone to a newer one barely feels different, and not because companies stopped innovating, but because the foundation is already very strong. Let me explain. Take iPhones. After what, say 20 iterations, they are incredibly polished right now. I use the iPhone 17 Pro Max as my daily phone and it has reliable cameras, the performance is fast, software is smooth, battery life is good, build quality is excellent. And the same with Samsung's Galaxy S series as well. Great displays, powerful processors, solid cameras, years of software updates. These are genuinely excellent products, but that is also the problem. They have become predictable. Every year, the incremental improvements are real, just not dramatic. These days, we usually get a slightly brighter screen, a slightly better camera, slightly faster chip, but nothing feels transformational anymore because we have reached a saturation point. Now, according to industry estimates, there are approximately 7.4 billion or 740 crore smartphone associated cellular connections globally as of 2026. That's almost the entire adult population of the planet. Also, at the same time, smartphone shipments have plateaued. For perspective, the total global smartphone shipments reached approximately 1.25 billion units in 2025, a 2% increase from 2024. And in 2026, analysts expect a slight contraction of roughly 1 to 2%, with shipments projected to drop to about 1.2 billion units or 120 crore units. Now, this tells you something. Most people already own good smartphones. Most 25,000 to 30,000 rupees phones already do almost everything people need. So when a phone worth 1 lakh rupees launches, the difference doesn't feel life-changing. It feels incremental. Another reason smartphones feel boring is expectations. Now, these phone brands have trained us to expect magic every year. So, every launch is game changing, every feature is revolutionary, every AI tool is transformational. But when you actually use the phone, your daily routine looks exactly the same. So, you still open WhatsApp, you still scroll Instagram, you still watch YouTube. So over time, people stopped believing the hype, not because brands are lying, but because progress today is subtle, and subtle doesn't feel exciting. Now, to be fair, not everyone feels this way. Some people genuinely still find smartphones exciting. People who care about photography love seeing camera improvements. Take the Vivo X series phones or the Oppo Find X series phones. Gamers care deeply about core performance, and so you have phones like the iQOO 15 or the OnePlus 15. Creators appreciate better video features. Again, you have the iPhones of the world. And first-time buyers or people upgrading after 4 or 5 years still feel that
like a wow
moment when they buy a new smartphone, because for them the jump is huge. So smartphones aren't boring for everyone. They are boring mainly for people who upgrade often and follow tech closely. That's an important difference. Now this part matters. We grew up and we are not the same users anymore. Earlier, everything felt new. Now we already know what a good display looks like. We already know what smooth performance feels like. We already know what a decent camera can do. And naturally, we are harder to impress. Plus, phones aren't toys anymore. They are tools. Our work happens on them, payments happen on them, banking happens on them. So see it like this. Once something becomes essential, excitement naturally drops. For instance, you don't feel thrilled about fast Wi-Fi or 5G, but you panic when it stops working. That's exactly what smartphones have become. Invisible but critical. Now here's the interesting part. A lot of innovation today happens quietly. Image processing algorithms, battery optimization, network efficiency, background AI features. Our modern smartphones can take dozens of photos per click and merge them instantly. They can predict lighting, they can stabilize video in real time, they can optimize apps silently in the background. What I'm trying to say here is that these things genuinely improve the user experience, but they don't look exciting in thumbnails because, let's face it, a smarter HDR system does not feel as dramatic as the first touchscreen phone. So innovation continues, it just isn't in your face anymore. About 4 years ago, with the phone 1, nothing introduced transparent backs, LED lights, and a totally different approach to design. Now, nothing did not change how phones work, but they tried to change how phones feel, and honestly, that was refreshing. It reminded people that phones can still have personality. We also saw slim phones make a comeback in 2025. Samsung tried it with the Galaxy S25 Edge, Apple experimented with the iPhone Air, and on paper, thinner phones sounded exciting, but in reality, they really didn't take off. You see, sales were average and the marketing buzz faded quite quickly. In fact, the iPhone Air, which isn't even 6 months old, launched at around 1,20,000 rupees, but during the recent sale, it was selling for around 92,000 rupees, a straight drop of 28,000 rupees. Now, even though I personally found the idea of slim phones interesting, again, thinner does not change how you use your phone, so the excitement did not last. Then how can we not talk about foldables? Samsung, Google, OnePlus, Oppo, Huawei, Honor, and so many of them. Everyone has tried. Apple is rumored to launch its own foldable later this year. So no doubt these foldables are impressive pieces of engineering, but they are expensive, they are delicate, and for most people, they don't solve a real problem. A decade after their introduction, foldables still feel more like experiments than necessities. Cool to look at, but hard to justify for the asking price. Which brings us to, what would make smartphones exciting again? Probably not higher megapixels, probably not faster charging, probably not a triple or a quad foldable screen, if that's even a thing. I think real excitement will come from bigger shifts. A phone with a see-through screen, as you have seen in some sci-fi movies, or a meaningful on-device AI that actually saves time. Maybe breakthrough battery tech or software experiences that genuinely change daily habits. Basically, something completely unexpected can make smartphones exciting again, but even then, the first time will feel special. After that, it becomes normal.
That's what she said.
That's the cycle of technology. So the final take is, smartphones did not become boring.
No.
They become mature, and we grew alongside them. If you enjoyed this kind of explainer, let us know in the comments. We are trying something different here at Digit, and I hope you appreciate the effort. Catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.